Yes, hello and welcome to episode 7 of Chapcast. Yes, we're already in July. Okay, so we're at the point where I'm meant to be doing this all about the amazing, great part of the voice, which it will be about that, but I think I'm going to have to stretch this out over 2 or 3 episodes because I've just found more content than I thought I had, and also went up the heath with Phil, and I was planning to just like get little snippets of this and that, talking to him about things and that, but we just went up quite a hill and sat on a bench and had a load of beers, and Ben I joined us, and yeah, it went on a bit long, and when I checked the audio, like, I had just under an hour's worth of material, so I thought this episode 7, I'm going to stick the whole interview, if you like. Well, it's not an interview, it's like a chat between me and Phil, and then Ben comes and joins us later in the interview, in the chat, sorry. But I also thought that I needed to get like at least one song up here, do you know what I mean? So me and Phil wrote No People No More before James Till joined us in our little songwriting gang, if you like. So I've found a version of No People No More. It is a gig from the Bull and Gate, and it is Spiros's first gig with us. Welcome Spiros. I actually thought that Spug had stopped playing with us and sort of just become our roadie or whatever, but I'm afraid to say that in this song you can still hear the tampons tapping away in the background, do you know what I mean? But I actually think that this is 100%. No, it's not actually, because he comes back. Yeah, well, this is his last gig, and then there's a little bit more of a story with Spug to tell. So I'll just wait, and we can talk about Spug in another episode, I suppose, because once I've played No People No More, I'm gonna let you have this chat on Quite Ill, and then that'll be the episode over, I'm afraid to say. But I've been preparing stuff for episode 8, and it's all interesting. Yeah, it's all good fun. So I suppose I will let you have a listen to this track, and this is Spee's first gig with us. So it's me, Spiros, James, Phil, Matty, and I'm sure that unless Matty was like playing the congas with his head or something, or his nose or something, I don't know, maybe. But no, yeah, you can hear Spug still on the stage with us. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, all right, sweet. Have a listen. Let's talk in a minute.
This one's the heaviest one in the bag. No People No More. Go on, Phil. This one's for the newest member in the band, Spiros and Keys, yeah? No more, 'cause they don't care. No people no more, 'cause they don't care. No people no more, 'cause they don't care. No people no more, 'cause they don't care. The other day I seen a dead man, nobody's at his feet. You know they couldn't give a damn, they just walked past him. So come on now, what's it all about? I really need to know. And you know what they say, that's the way it goes. They don't care. Now people no more, 'cause they don't care. Now people now more, 'cause they don't care. You know it's not all for one, and it's not one for all. Silly lies they tell their friends, they say they help them all. So come on now, what's it all about? I really need to know. And you know what they say, that's the way it goes. People no more, they just don't give a damn. No people no more, they just don't give a damn. No people no more, they just don't give a damn. No people no more, they just don't give a damn.
Yes, and that was No People No More live at the Bull and Gate in Kentish Town. Spiros' first gig with us, and Spug's last. Well, we'll see what happens later in the story, eh? So now I've got this interview chat with Phil on Top Kite Hill in Hampstead Heath. Ben Ide joins us for a little while. It lasts a lot longer than I expected it to last in the beginning. You might hear a load of wind because it was a right windy day on the Top Kite Hill. We're sitting there on the bench, just the three of us, some beers and that. Socially distanced, don't worry. So let's have a listen to this interview, and then that will be the end of this episode, and I will see you in episode 8, where I've got loads more stuff for you to have a listen to, and all about the great part of the voice. So listen to the interview, and I will see you next month in episode 8. Nice one. Let's have a little chat about the voice. Yeah, so I mean, out of the great part of the Voice that I say, like, because the music was so much better, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, you had me and Matty, and then you had in the band at the time you had like Jamie Nicholas, Jason Logan, and Spuggy, and then obviously you joined, and then you, like, once we got rid of the crap, it was me, you and Matty, and then obviously James joined, made the Voice great, and then Spiros joined and made the Voice great, you know what I mean? Like,
make the Voice great again.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, yeah, like don't get me wrong, like the earlier parts of the Voice, we had a right laugh, you know what I mean? Like, but it weren't really, like, if I listen back to the recordings of the early Voice, it's a lot more like, do you know what I mean? Like, just not proper, you know what I mean? And then obviously once you joined, and then like,
well, I don't know, I'd say apart from like that No One Knows It recording that you did with the original line, I feel that was good.
Well, yeah, that was a good recording, but that wasn't actually the original lineup, if you like to say, because it was me. It was me, Amon, and Josh, but Matty never played drums on it, and Jamie never played bass. Dave Grunberg had nothing to do with it, and then obviously it's got strings and stuff on it because Lauren Taubman, my girlfriend of the time, we recorded it with her dad in his home studio, like, and like me, Amon, and Josh went round there, and like I'd done the singing, and Amon played the rhythm guitar and done the picking, and then Josh put the lead guitar on it. But then Mick Taubman, Lauren's dad, he done the like software drums. Must have been a lot harder than software drums today, because like that drummer plug-in on Logic is just so great. I love it. It's like having a drummer in your ass, you know what I mean? Like all the time. Like it's a bit
without the temperamental side.
Yeah, it's a bit easier than locking Matty in the cupboard, you know what I mean? Like, and then miking him up every time you need drums, you know what I mean? But yeah. So her dad like put the bass on it, and that's obviously like played through a MIDI keyboard, and he's done the strings on it, MIDI keyboard. And to tell you the truth, because there weren't them sort of drummer plugins at the time, he's obviously done that through the MIDI keyboard as well, and you know what I mean? Like, so that recording, yes, that's how the original Voice should have sounded.
It's an indicator. It's it's the nearest sort of representation of from what I remember when I wasn't in the band. How he's like sounded,
yeah,
like and specifically on that song. You know,
like, no, yeah, that's how.
Because whenever you have a different lineup, sometimes it changes, and over the years, a song can like the way you record a song changes, doesn't it? Sometimes,
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, because obviously, like when you joined the band in the beginning, like, and then I listened back to songs that were written around that time, like Until Tomorrow, that me and Jason Logan sort of wrote. And then there was a tune called So Pretty Tonight. Do you remember that?
I think...
It was written around the time of that Irish Centre gig. It was written. And I think everyone sort of like maybe like I know it was mainly me and Jason Logan, but you, Matty, Jamie, Owen, Spug on the tampons, you know what I mean? Like you lot all had something to do with that track as well, you know what I mean? Like, but I remember like that was the last sort of gig before I sort of thought to myself, we actually could be something, you know what I mean? Like we need to like get rid of the dry wood, if you like, you know what I mean? Like just like people sort of like pretending they're in the Voice, but they're not, you know what I mean? Like, and then obviously obviously through you came James. Yeah, 'cause, I mean,
think at the time, like, so obviously, I think we was in, like, I was in band before that, Green and everything. So I think I was kind of in awe of you. Like, I just thought you like you were getting a lot of gigs in. You were getting quite a bit of a fan base for, like, do you know what I mean? So I was like, bloody hell, them lots, they're smashing it, like.
Because I remember that gig, like, at the centre. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how you was asked to play it, or do you know what I mean? Like, I can't remember that far back, but I remember that day in the centre. Like, obviously you went on before us, like, so I watched your set, and I remember I was quite fixated on you. Like, I was thinking, yeah, that geezer's having it on the guitar, man. You know what I mean? Like, fucking hell, that's how it's meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, and then I remember I watched your band, and to tell you the truth, I didn't really think much of your band. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, your mate Tim's a lovely fella. Like, and I think you had a girl on drums. Did you? Was it a girl?
Yeah. Yeah, that was. We didn't really even know her at all. We were just
you did what? You just saw her in the street and said, "We need a drummer."
She was in the same. We was in the same sixth form. We were looking for a drummer, and she was literally just the only person there who played drums. But I don't really think it was for us, really. Style of. I mean, you know.
Was she maybe like a little bit heavier, sort of metally, like?
Yeah, I don't think it was really.
Yeah, kind of, and who was the bass player?
And Pete. Pete was, I think it was called.
What he was called? What do you mean he was called? What?
I think he
disappeared.
From what I recall, his name was. But he was like, I don't know. Goth or something, or
he was a
some
goth
kind of metal. No, not. I don't know. Well,
where was you?
Kind of heavy metal.
Was you in the Le Swap sixth form at the time that you put that band together?
Yeah.
All right, and were they both in Le Swap? Were they?
Yeah, all in the same.
Okay, so you all came out of Le Swap, sort of thing, like.
Yeah. But obviously, I mean, his style of music was completely different to what, say, me and Tim was into. But then he was actually, he was a decent bass guitarist. He was pretty, accomplished at the time. But it just wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, it just didn't quite work out.
Well, I mean, I sat there. I can remember sitting there. Like, I don't know who I was with. Probably, I don't know. We had loads of people there that day or whatever. But I can remember sitting there, and I was watching your band, and I was thinking. Yeah, not really my thing, but they're not so bad, but they're not really my thing. But then I was looking at you and I was thinking, fucking hell, you wiped the floor with Josh and Amon's guitar playing, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. And I was, in my head, I was just thinking, like, because obviously, like, that gig was really close to when we split, you know what I mean? Like, well, we didn't split, but Josh and Amon walked out of the band. Dave Grunberg, I don't even know what happened to Dave, you know what I mean? I actually bumped into him up here one day running. Like, he's a lovely fella, but I don't know what happened to him as regards to him being in the band. But so I remember watching, thinking, Phil's like, because especially like a couple of weeks later, once we'd split and like it was sort of me, Jamie and Matty left, and we needed a guitar, you know what I mean? Like, and then you came in with Jason Logan, the two guitarists, like Jason on rhythm and you on lead, to sort of like, and then like obviously you had Spug, the super fan. That, do you know what I mean? Like, old Spug, he just like
managed to get into
exactly.
But that's, in a way, that was kind of like myself really as well. I kind of like, I thought you lot with going places. I thought, bloody hell, like, I think they could do quite well. Like, just this voice lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but when I actually got like asked, like, do you want to join it? I was just like, yeah, okay.
I can remember because like
like we must have. Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose Tim holds me like as the person that stole you in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he's also I don't think he's ever really. I thought he'd have got over it or something, but he's never. I don't think he's ever gonna forgive me for like I've betrayed the band.
I understand that he's like your close friend and that, and he's a lovely fella. You know what I mean? But my mindset at the time was, I need to be as big as Oasis, and Phil is the one to go there with me. So I was like, I had to have you in our band. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I was just like,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't like all of the people. Well, apart from like, to be honest, the girl that was the drummer, I don't really. As I say, I don't even know who she is. I know she was in the sixth form. I've forgotten her name and everything. But the other two, no, we got on well, and they're great. You know.
Yeah.
Great team, you know, and I think he was called Peter.
I think he's called Peter.
I'm about 95% certain that was his name.
Yeah.
You know, top geezers, but
his name
just
Phil.
Unfortunately, it just sometimes bands don't, for whatever reason, they don't. You know.
Phil. His name was actually Luke, and he's here today. Luke. Hello. Hi, Phil. Do you like my bass playing? All right, that's enough from you, mate. No, but yeah, but I mean, like, once you joined the band, like, it was just it was mental, wasn't it? Like, it was going down Scar Studios.
There was
and
a lot of hype.
Yeah, I can remember I used to come pick you up from your house quite a lot.
Yeah.
In my little silver Ford KA.
The sports KA.
Yeah, the sports KA,
version,
yeah. Leather seats, the lot. Do you know what I mean?
Killed the gearbox on that, innit?
Yeah,
you killed
fucking car, man. I remember, like, because let's not get into cars, because we'll go straight off the plot. But anyway. Yeah, so I mean, so you joined the band, and then obviously Spug wormed his way in, like the super fan who needed to be. It's like, have you ever seen Incredibles 2 or Incredibles 1, the cartoon? It's like there's this geezer who wants to be like Baby Incredible or something, like, and he wants to be with Mr. Incredible or whatever, and Mr. Incredible said no though, and I said yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, yes to the tampons. Let's hire them from Golders Green, and I'll go and collect them in my bloody car.
Just for verification purposes, we're talking about bongos here.
But fucking hell. I remember we'd done a gig at the Bull and Gate, yeah, and there was a song that started off with congas, and then it went to drums, like, and because Matty was like amazing at drums, percussion, anything to do with hitting something, you know what I mean? Like, I said to Spuggy, oh, you play the tambourine, Matty is going to play bongos, and then he's going to move to the drums. And Spuggy's like, but I'm the percussionist, let me do the bongos, and then Matty can come in. And I was like...
He's like a super fan.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, like Spug, don't get me wrong, Spug is he's my mate, you know what I mean? Like
I think
go on.
He just wanted some part of being on. You know, he just desperately wanted to get on the stage.
He wanted to be on that stage. Yeah, he wanted to be on that stage, didn't he? You know what I mean?
And that's like, you know, it's kind of like, all right, now it's just like the idea of gigging, and I'm just a bit. But it's just at the time when you're in the.
Yeah.
It's big, like when you're in the late teens, early 20s, which we all were.
Yeah, fucking hell.
It was kind of a big, you know, and playing in a band was almost like a state, you know, people would be like, what?
Yeah.
Playing a, you know, it's like, now no one, if you said, oh, I'm in the band, people would be like, right, let's get a job, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was like unique.
No,
even though it wasn't unique because everyone else was doing it, but you know,
it was cool. It was cool as anything, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Like I can remember some of the gigs we did, like, and fucking we had loads of people at these gigs. You know what I mean? Like back then, a gig was a night out, you know what I mean? Like, people was like, yes, they're doing a gig, let's go, do you know what I mean? Like, but now, these days,
the live circuit is, I know this is going off from the band, but it's died, isn't it? You know, like the pub gigs, like, not because of COVID-19, although that has helped a bit, but, you know, like, because just in the long term, it has slowly just...
Yeah, I mean...
pubs that used to just be for gigs have turned into theatre pubs, like the Hope and Anchor.
I mean, you don't... Like pub life is not what it was, you know what I mean? And I think that's, like, partly to do with the reason that the pubs have put the fucking prices through the roof. You know what I mean? If you go to the pub with 20 quid when we was, like, 19... you'd have had a fucking good night out, a really good night out on 20 quid. It'd have been like the most amazing thing in the world. These days, if I walk in a pub with £100 in my pocket, it's gone within no time, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking, like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, getting back to the music, let's talk a bit more music, you know what I mean? Like, So anyway, yeah, so alright, so you joined the band and then there was the 6 of us, including Spug on the Tampons. But there was people in the band with more drive than others, you know what I mean? Like, and when you have 3 people with their foot on the gas, but you got 3 people with their foot on the brake, you're not going to go anywhere, you know what I mean? You're just going to, like, crash, you know what I mean? So it don't work. So we had to clean the band up so we could move forward. You know what I mean? And then obviously, like with me, you, and Matty in the band, that's greatness already. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously
Matt is. I don't know where he's at the moment, but he's brilliant.
Do you know what,
like,
Phil?
The
right?
drum rolls that he did was.
Do you know what? I've listened to recordings of Matty, yeah, and all right, from time to time he goes out of time, or he speeds up, or he slows down. But I mean, that was probably due to the 4 bottles of wine he'd drunk. You know what I mean? But if you listen to a good take of Matty on the drums, like what we got at that studio at Bonafide that time when it was the 4 of us.
Yeah, with just the 1 bottle.
He's just a fucking great drummer, and like it's sad really that Matt has like slipped away from life really, because I swear to God I would have only played with Matty my whole life.
Yeah.
If it was my choice, Matty was my drummer and he would have been my drummer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously life doesn't always plan out how you want it to go, you know what I mean? And you have to move on, you know what I mean? Not to say that I haven't played with some other great drummers like Sam Talent, amazing drummer, you know what I mean?
But I mean, he's probably, in terms of, to be perfectly honest, in terms of like keeping the time more and things like that, you know, he's more disciplined, perhaps in that way. But and you know, everyone's different. But just talking about Matt, like his drumming was out of this world. I think that was probably one of the things as well that kind of made draw me towards, like, and a lot of people maybe towards the original, like the early Voice lineups. His drumming was like the drum rolls, like, were just it was like a bit like modern day Keith Moon, probably.
Do you know what you've hit? That's what I was just going to say. You've hit the nail straight on the head there. If compared to any drummer that I'm not talking about famous drummers, I'm talking about drummers that we've played with or whatever, but Matty was the closest to Keith Moon that I've ever heard. Do you know what? You can go through famous drummers and like, I'd say that Zach Starkey is probably quite like Keith. In some ways, but he probably keeps it together a bit more. Don't know, but anyway, let's.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is you kind of have to balance. Keep a bit of time, but
so anyway, so we've got this new, like, Amon, Josh, Dave. They've gone, and then you, Jason, and Spug have come in. And we've got this brand new version of, like, part 2 the middle, the bridge between greatness. I call this version of do you know what I mean? But so anyway, so it's us 6, and like we played for a while, just us 6. You know what I mean? We've done the Irish Centre, we've done the Bull and Gate. I think we've done the Dublin Castle. Do you know what I mean? There's a few gigs that I can remember, but then obviously things started to break down in the band. Do you know what I mean? Like Jamie's like not really turning up. I don't think as I say, he liked to say to the birds in the pub, yeah, I'm the bass player of the Voice, but he didn't like to come to the rehearsals. You know what I mean? So it's like pointless. So
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I weren't in. Like I was in and near the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of beef you might have had about like him not turning up stuff, because like I weren't really there in the early days.
No.
I mean,
I
know that there was obviously a bit of
Don't get me wrong. Like me and Jamie have had a fucking mental relationship over the years. There's been times when me and him have been the best mates that anyone can be. Yeah, but then there's been times when he's fucking. He's cheating on me with my at the time. I'm not even going to call her a girlfriend because I don't even know what she is. You know what I mean? But anyway, it was more sad that it sort of broke me and Jamie in half. But well, I mean, Jamie obviously holds these things against me, like with sacking him from the band or whatever. But at the end of the day, we wanted to make music. You know what I mean? We wanted to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we had the 6 of us, and then
it is hard with people that you're actually like mates with, that you went to the same school maybe as growing up in the same, you know what I mean, and then you want to try and do a band with them.
I'll take another one of the beers.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like.
Oh, we're down to the last beers.
Well, Ben better hurry up, otherwise we're going to the shop without him. No. Yeah. Yeah. The time had come, you know what I mean? Like Jamie had run his course, you know what I mean? He weren't putting the effort in. He probably didn't even want to be in the band properly, you know what I mean? Just wanted to say he was in the band, didn't want to be in the band. So it was time to move on, and you put me onto your pal James, and then James was a top geezer, you know what I mean? Like the minute I met you, I got on with you, and then the minute I met James, I got on with James, and like in my head, I'm thinking, fucking hell, maybe I should have come from the Angel than Kentish Town. Nah, but so James joined the band. I think Jason got sacked as well. I think because he was sort of like, well, he was like a drug fiend, if you like to say. So obviously Jamie leaves. He's gonna want to leave, isn't he? But yeah, so and then obviously Spug, he continued to sort of be our roadie for a while, didn't he? But I sort of said to him that the tampons need to be hung up. You know what I mean? Like we don't need the tampons anymore. And then so then it's the 4 of us. Me, you, James, Matty, and yeah, we create this new version of the Voice that is fucking amazing. And obviously, somewhere between you joining the band and James joining the band, we wrote the song "No People No More" in my bedroom. You know what I mean? Like you provided the song with fucking great riffs,
I think it was a very different lineup.
Yeah.
And the way, alright, I don't know if this is like kind of a weird comparison, but you know, like it was like a bit of old and a bit of new of the lineup of the band, in the same way that like with Arsenal maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like you had that transition where you had
when Thierry Henry joined
you had Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
You
still had Ian Wright.
You had
and Bergkamp.
But you had you still had, well, no, even before Thierry Henry, but you still had your Steve Bolts and your
yeah. Mike Keown and Ray Parlour.
You had
know what I mean?
You had that backbone, the old school.
Yeah, the old school backbone, but then you needed
you had the
fantastic
new additions, like first Bergkamp in.
Yeah, Bergkamp,
and then.
Do you know what? I was at Highbury when he scored his first 2 goals for Arsenal, Bergkamp, against Southampton. I was in the North Bank with Taib, and we was going fucking nuts, man. And I remember we beat Southampton that day 4-2. I saw Bergkamp score 2 great goals. I saw Ian Wright score a great goal, and then I saw Tony Adams score a great goal, and also saw Southampton scored 2 great goals.
But that's another podcast for another day.
One of which was Matt Letitia free kick. But yes, that is another.
Matt Letitia's still playing fucking.
That is another podcast for another day. You know what I mean? Like. But anyway, yeah. So we're together. Me and you sort of got this song going or whatever. Like, do you what? Where did you get the riff from?
The kind of like the idea for it is kind of very much like in the spirit of like something like the Lars and or maybe sort of like a John Squires sort of Stone Roses type of inspired type of riff. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's. I hope it's not specifically from anywhere because I get sued. Not that anyone's gonna sue me. I'll give them a 5.
No, fuck that, man. That is our song, mate. I don't care. Who wants to have a fight about it? You know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, in terms of like creating or what my kind of idea of or like a Johnny Marr.
So like when we wrote the song and I asked you to provide a riff, was that something that was new to you, or had you had that riff sitting on the shelf for a while?
I just the idea, because you was like, I'll just play a riff, and I normally just my style guitars just with adding to the rhythm and then just doing solos, kind of more like. Because that was more like Hendrix, Clapton type thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't normally like riff wise of that. It's not really something I put a lot of thought into like before that. But it just kind of just worked with the chord, and you didn't really need. You just had 2 chords of it.
Yeah,
weren't really that complicated. It still works with just playing 2 chords in the intro.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, man. Because I remember like
it works around the chords or whatever. So.
Yeah, I remember you playing it to me like, and I was thinking, fucking hell, that in my head like I've done had sort of just started playing guitar at the time. You know what I mean? I was like, that is fucking great. But in my head, I'm thinking that is so fucking complicated. I'm never going to be able to play the rhythm guitar to that. So we're going to need to get another guitarist, like, and but yeah. I mean, it is a great riff, isn't it? It is a great riff. Like it's a great song. It's a great song. The whole song is great. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, fucking hell, man, that's a good song. It's quite mad trying to show it to people, like like with the charity band and that.
Yeah.
It's quite mad, like trying to show them like and they're like. Yeah, the chorus and then the verse and the backflip and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are they talking about? You know what I mean? Like you've got sort of, in my head it's like a pre-verse verse and then a pre-verse verse and then like an outro chorus.
When
you know what I mean?
Like a pre-chorus, like a bridge, like a
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. How do you split these songs up to show to other people?
It works because it's kind of, it's not like it's neatly it's structured. It's like,
Yeah. It don't have to be. It's just, the only reason it's hard is when you're trying to tell other people to play it. They're like, "What do you mean? What's the bridge?" Like, but anyway. A great song and the start of our great songs to come, and the only difference was James sort of joined me and you as another songwriting partner, and then it was the 3 of us. You know what I mean? Like Matty was happy, just like obviously back then any drum anything to do with the drums in them songs was all Matty. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, when we play it today in the charity band or in any other band that you play it in, the drums are not Matty. You know what I mean? It's completely different drums. You know what I mean? Like, but which is a shame. You know what I mean? But that's life.
I think it was out of necessity as well to do like, some kind of riff that fills in a bit, because I didn't know if there was even going to be any rhythm with it. But you started playing the rhythm at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
whereas before you had like about 1 million guitarists on stage.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And then it's just you, like,
and just play a solo, but you can't.
And then I remember I'd done a couple of gigs with the guitar, like being the rhythm guitarist. And in my head, I was thinking, I just want to be a front man, you know what I mean? But then the weirdest thing happened, and we did not replace me on the guitar with another guitar. We got Spiros in the band on the keys. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean that was. I think that it's a very interesting lineup, but I don't know, it kind of works.
Yeah, it did fucking work. And I remember playing the Underworld, and we'd done a cover of Bubba O'Reilly by The Who, and he was doing
the synthesizer parts.
He'd done the synthesizer parts on the keyboard, do you know what I mean?
In time.
Yeah, exactly. That was fucking great,
as if he was on a metronome, but just...
That was great. But I do remember that it was a fucking empty room. We had about 7 people there, like, and I don't even know if there was any other bands playing, because if there was, their fans didn't fucking watch us, like. But I suppose that's you get ups and downs, don't you? You know what I mean? Like, but
I think that at that point that was kind of. And for the time, I don't know, but I can't speak for before that. But for the time that I was in it, that was the ultimate, like.
Of course.
Like that was to have, like, you know, James was pretty decent. He was good on the bass, like.
Good bass player.
Good backing vocals.
Brilliant backing vocals. You know what I mean, like.
Spiros on the keyboards. Matty was on the drums.
Yeah, Matty was on drums. Yeah.
That's like, imagine. It's particularly when you've got.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dan, man, you right?
Ben, what's happening, mate?
What's happening, bud?
Right. We're recording, actually. We're doing a little podcast.
About your bands?
Yeah, about the band sort of thing. Yeah. So just sit down.
Yeah,
and if you can remember being at any gigs or whatever,
I've been to all your fucking gigs.
Contribute. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. So where are we? We're.
Cheers, Phil.
Nice one.
Thanks for calling me.
No, it's fine, mate.
How
are you?
I just gave him 20 quid.
Yeah, that's sweet, bruv. Nice one, mate.
I didn't want to take a piss.
All right. We're talking music for a minute, yeah. All right. So anyway, right. So where are we? Like, oh yeah. So it's the 4 of us basically at that time, right? And I remember I said to you, like, we need to do a demo. We need to get into a studio and do a demo, like.
Yeah.
At that point, No People No More weren't 100% ready to record. So we went in.
Sorry, that's right. Is this being filmed? Taped out?
Yeah. We went into Bonafide Studios, and I remember, like, before we had chosen what we was going to do, and I remember I just wrote Fever for the music. Like, I remember writing that just not long before, like, and we rehearsed it enough to record it. And then obviously, like, we needed to pick 3 songs, and we chose Fever.
No, that's for taking it. That's for giving me the money. Is it
no.
Yeah. Yeah, we chose Fever, Every Little Thing, and what was the other one? Fever, Every Little Thing, and On This Life, that I wrote with Jamie, which is quite mad. It's mad as well if you listen to the chords in Fever. I mean, not in Fever, in This Life. Jamie's obviously, because he came up with the guitar, like playing the guitar, and I just sang, and then I wrote the chorus. You know what I mean? But if you look at the chords, it's the same chords as Hello by Oasis.
But just slowed down.
Yeah, it slowed down a lot, but it is the same chords. And I remember you did backing vocals on that track.
Yeah, embarrassingly,
yeah.
Backing vocals. Phil, I thought Phil was a guitarist.
Yeah, so that's where we was. Like, I don't know. Have you got anything to say about that recording, like at Bonafide Studios? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I've got the CD.
Yeah,
Still
got the stamp.
It's in a museum.
Yeah, with this will go right next to it.
Yeah, no, it turned out, as I say, I thought that, you know, the lineup was at the pinnacle at that point, but obviously there was a lot where we were rehearsing a lot of times a week. It was a lot of pressure in it.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what I found? Yeah, I'm so fucking OCD or whatever. I found a few books, yeah, and I used to write down who had paid what at rehearsals. Fucking nuts. You know what I mean? There's like a thing that says John £10, Phil £10, James £10, Matty £3.50. You know what I mean? It's like, and then it says underneath like Matty's £6.50.
What's this? To pay to get in?
At rehearsals, we're talking about. You had to pay for rehearsals. Yeah. So at the bottom it says Matty £3.50, and then it said underneath John has given £3 towards Matty's £6.50, and then it says Phil's given £3, and then it's like James has given 50 pence. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what, John? Like when I used to come to a gig, I say, "Can you put me on the not hit list, the short list?" Isn't it?
Yeah, come a bit closer, Ben, because it might not pick you up.
I want to talk to it as well. I want to talk about.
No, just music, bruv.
Yeah, about your music.
Yeah, it's just about our music. Yeah.
No, I don't drink.
Oh, you don't. It's a good idea, mate.
For one, before you want to record, yeah, I found a really good pub we can go to after this show.
Yeah, all right, wait a minute. Right, so anyway, we're at that point where, we're in the studio, yeah, and I can remember, I don't know if you remember this, me and James recorded this thing at the end of the last song, whatever it was. It was like some big gap, like 20 minutes gap. And then it was like, whoa, boy, or whatever. I can't remember.
Really loud.
Yeah, it was just like a big, massive shouting. And I remember that we used to go out in the car and then turn the radio right up with all the windows.
Is that a Dean's car?
No, it was in. I think I had a car at the time, but I've got this idea that we was mainly in James's car, was we?
Who's James Coriolis? James Nicholas?
No, James Till, who played bass in our band at the time, Phil's friend. Yeah. But
I've always remembered Phil, but I don't actually remember James.
Oh, you might not have remembered.
He's quite late.
We went to a pub at one of your gigs. It was one of Tom Devine's friends. I can't remember his name. He was in the back and he was on heavy. He was like horse tranquilizers.
All right. Let's keep this. Let's keep this to music. All right. Don't talk about fucking horse tranquilizers in the back of the water rats with Dave Weston. No, but yes. So
that'd be more interesting.
Yes. No. So anyway, so we're. Me, you, James, Matty, like we've recorded a demo. We're doing gigs. We've done a few gigs. Like I can remember, we did quite a few gigs or whatever. And then I remember talking with your pal John Isabel.
Right.
Yeah, and we because at the time, like I was doing a bit of rhythm guitar, but I couldn't play rhythm guitar to everything. So it was only like if we played 10 songs, I might play rhythm guitar in 5 of them, but then the other 5. They needed something in the background, do you know what I mean? And then I remember talking to John Isbell. I said, was he closer to Spiros than you lot or something?
He
lived in Camden,
they lived in the same
he?
area, like near Prince of Wales Road or somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know where he was, but I can vividly remember chatting to John Isbell, and then he starts telling me about Spiros. Like he starts saying, "Oh yeah, at school, at primary school or some." I don't know when he was talking about, but he's saying like Spiros playing the piano, like and all that, like, and then I can remember that. How did we meet him?
Yeah, no, I remember.
Where?
Spiros.
Yeah, where did we meet him? I mean, you knew him, but where did I meet him?
I don't know. Through Dappy, didn't you, John?
Yeah, it's Dappy's older brother, but we'll get to that.
Dappy used to live near me in Somersdale, near Prince Albert.
Yeah, he lived just off Royal College Street. Yeah. But anyway, we'll get to
Royal
that.
College Street, yeah. That's
yeah.
I remember being in the back of the car with Dappy in your car.
Yeah, of course. We used to play football with them all the time.
Him and Faisal.
That's before they hit the big
that's
time.
before they hit the big time. They was called the Little Rinsers.
Yeah, they were. And you used to do it. If this is recording, you used to do. You used to be next door to him in the studio, didn't you?
Yeah.
You told me you never met Talisa though. Did you meet Talisa?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, a couple of times.
She was my dream when I was younger.
She's a lot younger than us.
No, she's not.
She is, bruv.
I'm 39. She's about 32.
Yeah, exactly. A lot younger than us. 7 years ago.
No, I just remember that.
All right. So anyway, like, so I don't know. Like, speak. Like, what was you saying? Like, how did we invite him to the band, or?
I don't remember, but I know through John probably. Through John Listener.
Yeah. So anyway, I remember him anyway. Like, finally, he came to a rehearsal. I remember his keyboard was too big to go in the back of my KA, so James had to lay it on the back seats of his Sierra because it was too big to go in the KA. Like, and I remember going around to Scar Studios and that. And I can remember playing around and like thinking, yeah, I've never played with keys before, you know what I mean? But this is great, and he's a great keyboard player. And that.
I remember, like at school, because he was in the same year at school. They had some like talent assembly thing where people that was talented got up on stage and did, and they got him on the stage with a grand piano or something, and he was doing some classical Mozart shit or something on the like, amazing, like some great
yeah
he's
like,
famous, do you know that? Someone told me he's in a band, really good band.
Is he? I mean, I know he for a while he was doing like drum and bass stuff.
Yeah,
I remember sitting in the back of
but I remember anyway, right? He joined the band, right, and then there's the 5 of us. And then it was just like we was doing gigs like the Underworld when he was doing like the keyboard, the synthesizer sound for Barbara Riley and that, like, and it was going great. It was just like I was so happy. We was the best band in the world in my eyes. You know what I mean? I remember when we supported the Rifles, who at the time were called they were called Sounds of London, and I've got it on recordings. Like I've probably put some of the tracks on Chapcast already, but I remember like we was there, and like it was just going so great. And then I remember that Spiros wrote one song with us lot, and that was "I'm Just a Lover." Oh my god, he come up with this piano riff.
The intros.
It was amazing, man. It was just like, and then like me, I put like the vocals, the melody and that, the vocal melody and that to it, and Phil and James sort of like kicked it into shape, if you like, you know what I mean? Because it weren't really a song.
You said that, John.
Yeah, it weren't really a song.
You said that when you was in the studio with Spiros.
Yeah, we all wrote it together. Yeah, Matty was there as well. I mean,
I remember him with his big keyboard, Spiros.
Yeah.
He had a ponytail, innit?
Yeah. He was fucking great. He was fucking hell, man. I'll tell you what, he was genius. Just unbelievable, weren't he? And then it was like we was meeting up. Like I remember going to pick him up to go and play football in William Ellis. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Like I used to go down to his house in my car and pick him and Dappy up, and sometimes Fazer, and then James would pick you up and fucking. A few Matty, a few other people, whatever.
There, John. Tom the Vine.
I can't remember exactly who was there, but we used to go to William Ellis Playground. Remember, we had the cars parked in the playground. Do you remember under that hut thing?
Yeah.
And we used to just play football, and it was a right laugh, and it was great. It was like
he was a good football player, Dappy, as well.
Yeah, I remember though.
It's quite soon after that you lost your sight, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, a few years after that, but anyway, yeah. So I remember like Spiros being in the band and like it was just going great. But then I remember, right?
Stop drinking.
He's do you remember that his dad came to Scar Studios and he was going to manage us.
Yeah, I remember.
And that, and he watched us and he was like, "Oh, you're really great," or whatever. And then he said to us, "You don't need to rehearse here no more. I've got a studio in Dollis Hill, and you lot can come and have a room there." Like, and I remember I remember like Dappy and Talisa and Fraser was always there, and then they had like a control room upstairs. Do you remember that? And Dappy and Fraser was doing like, well, the stuff that is N-Dubs now, you know what I mean? But it was sort of like, yeah, it's mad. And we had this room, I remember, like, and
They didn't do too badly for themselves.
No, they didn't. I'll take my hat off to them, man. Fucking well done, you know what I mean? But I remember being in that room, right? And then me, you and James, yeah, we wrote my favourite song. Well, it's in my top 5 songs that I've ever written, obviously with Black Blanket, No One Knows Him, whatever, but we wrote Mr. Who.
John.
Do you remember?
Yeah, John.
We wrote Mr. Who, yeah, and oh my God, fucking hell, Mr. Who. Mr. Who was a great tune. And then we was there for, I don't know, a few months or something, like, and then his dad, I think he got into some sort of financial trouble, and he sort of said, like, obviously the Lickle Rinsers, everyone knows them as N-Dubs, had interest from Sony and that, and he couldn't go on looking after us and them. Not that he looked after us that much, you know what I mean? Like, we had, remember that Matt Lakey? He was sort of like our road manager. Do you remember? And he used to do us.
Tell me about this guy. I don't remember.
You don't remember him?
There he is.
Fucking hell, man. He's from Kentish Town.
Matt Lakey. Do you know?
Yeah. Do you know? His younger brother's called Andrew Lakey, and he was at school with Dean. But anyway, this geezer Matt Lakey, he done some great flyers for us when we played at a Barfly. He done us great flyers. Like it was like me, you, James, Matty, and Spiros, and then on the background was like a picture of London, like in the dark, like, and it was sick. It was a wicked flyer, like, and he done it when we played at the Barfly, but he didn't. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't last very long anyway. Like he was like out of, like not part of it. But then I remember, like, once Spiros' dad couldn't really let us use the studio anymore and things like that, this is the decline of the voice, the crying of the voice.
How many bands in your time? How many different bands names?
How many bands have I been in? I ain't got a clue. I don't know. I'll talk. Yeah. Let's keep this to the voice, and then I'll tell you in a minute. But anyway, so we. I remember, like, we sort of. It was the decline, weren't it? It put a thing up everyone's arse, and then basically Spiros ended up leaving the band, and it was back to the 4 of us. And I don't know if you remember this, Phil, but we got Spuggy in as the rhythm guitarist. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We only played 4 more gigs. We played 4 gigs with Spuggy. That was it. And our last gig was at the Dublin Castle in Camden.
I remember it.
He'd learned a bit of rhythm.
Yeah. By then he could play rhythm guitar. So he was the rhythm guitarist, and I weren't playing guitar anymore. Well, I weren't playing guitar when Spiros was in the band because the keys was enough. You know what I mean? But I remember Spuggy joined. We did 4 more gigs, and then it sort of come to an end. And I remember speaking to you and James on the phone, and like you two was like, yeah, we're leaving the band, what,
both at the same time? Or
well, you was together in the room. I was actually speaking to James, but you was together, you know what I mean? And obviously at this point you lot went into the Butterflies, was it?
Yeah.
So,
not straight away, but
not straight away, but you was obviously writing music together, and you know what I mean.
I think after the losing that the studio like facilities.
Yeah.
And Donis Hill, and then also like him leaving the band and whatever, and it just started to fall, you know. And there was also the pressure of like rehearsing like 3 days a week and all that, or whatever it was, or 2 or 3 days. It was kind of like you and each other's factors. Yeah, it just got a bit much. Like, it's just taking over. I ain't got time.
No, I totally understand, because I mean, like, well, to tell you the truth, it was my life, it is my life, and it will always be my life. You know what I mean? Like, I just fucking love it. You know what I mean? But I remember, like you and James, you sort of said, we're gonna go and do our own thing or whatever, like. Because it was weird, because the week before, James came to me, and he came to me with some guitar chords, and he was like, right, this is a new song, I want you to write lyrics to this, and it goes like this, like, and he'd made a little recording for me, and I was like,
that tape or something.
I don't know how he done it, do you know what I mean? But he'd done me a little recording, and I remember sitting at home listening to this recording, trying to write some lyrics to it, and I remember I had a problem with one of the chords in a song. I didn't think it fitted or whatever, and I remember speaking to James and saying, look, can you change that chord, it don't fit or whatever, and then James was sort of like, no, look, I've written the music, like, put lyrics to that music or whatever, and I was like, all right, I'll try. And then I remember I just couldn't do it. I just totally couldn't do it. And then I remember the week later was when you two called me up and said basically you didn't want to do it. So I mean, you two left me, Spuggy and Matty, which weren't a band. You know what I mean? So that was the end of the Voice. You know what I mean? Obviously, I had 8 or 9 months off music, and then I went on to create the Fever Dogs with Spuggy and Amon and Dave Weston.
To the Tally-O.
That was later. We done the Fever Dogs first, but they only lasted 3 gigs. So fucking hell, that's where it ended.
By that time, it weren't really the Voice anyway, because it weren't all of the lineup. Hardly any. Well, apart from you and Matty Benson, that was the original lineup.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So it weren't really.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Voice. It was like 3 bands, and we called it all The Voice. You know what I mean? Maybe we should have gone with different names each time. I don't know, but I just love the name The Voice, and that's why I sort of kept it. Like, but yeah, it's a shame that it ended, because I think that me, you, James, Spiros, and Matty, I think we could have definitely got signed. And our first album, I think, would have been unbelievable, with things like Mr. Who, No People No More, Sweetness, I'm Telling You, I'm Just a Lover.
I mean, I genuinely think at that point it was, we was probably at the pinnacle.
Because I don't know if you remember, but we tried doing I'm Just a Lover, with on the guitars only, with no keys. Do you remember it? It sounds a lot more rocking, like it's like, but it's not the same. You need that piano.
No, you need that intro.
Yeah, you need that riff in there, man. That piano riff. Yeah, but fucking hell, man. Yeah, well, I suppose we've sort of we probably missed out shitloads of stuff, you know what I mean? But we've hit round the sides, and so I'm sitting on Kite Hill, Hampstead Heath, with Mr. Phil Kerrigan, the lead guitarist of The Voice, of the great part of The Voice, and also Bungamin Hyde. Ben Hyde is with us as well, and we are coronavirusing it up on the top of Kite Hill. Here we go. Anyway, sweet, thanks for listening. Nice one.
CHAP!